All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am Crackshot, and with me is True. Lies to my to my left over there. Hey guys, let's go. Yeah, not your typical average day in the CSL CS:GO world. I want to welcome you guys in tonight to our 7 p.m. PT broadcast. Obviously, if you see me above me a little bit over there, you will see a different title than the expected stream due to some scheduling conflicts and issues. We are going to be broadcasting Texas Tech versus Texas A&M today in their Week 2 match on Cash. So that is there. But more importantly, my literal human life vest of a person, Mahone, is here today. Whenever I have some weird CSGO issue or I'm uninformed, Mahone is a literal raft. Already this year with the quad, I'm just man, with the quad, I'm just yo, I know a CSGO teams, but I don't actually know. And you come in there, just killed it with all this info and knowledge bombs. And when I need a co-caster, Loku shows up again. Literal human life vest, man. You're a savior. How are you tonight?
Great. It's gonna be fun casting this. I think this is the first match that me and you will get to cast, even though we've been on, the COD before together, and also PAX.
We've somehow fished our way in and have done other stuff, everything but an actual CS:GO broadcast, which is interesting. Yeah. Just in general, before we get started, obviously talking about Texas Tech and Texas A&M, how have the first couple weeks of CS:GO results kind of hit you? Anything that you kind of stand out to you? Obviously, I know you're trying to lose a lot of friends by making power rankings.
I think so far most of it has been expected. Week 2 has had some surprising results, in my opinion, that everyone will get to read in the power rankings. That'll probably hit tomorrow or the day after, the very, very latest. Mm-hmm. But I think this should be a good match that we have coming up.
If you guys do want to catch any of the previous power rankings, you guys can go to cstarleague.com/CSGO and just click on the news tab. Very easy to find, very organized. So if you want to read on that and see where your team falls, some teams loved it, some teams didn't appreciate getting roasted. I personally loved all of it. So every time that we get a chance to see that. But yeah, tonight we have Texas Tech versus Texas A&M. We have Tech coming in here at 0-1, if I'm not mistaken, and they have lost to UT Arlington 8-16 on Nuke. Not a surprise, I would say, right? I mean, looking at it, Arlington's a pretty damn good team, but Nuke is kind of a little bit of a goofy map too as well at the same time. So, I mean, as much as there's a surprise that could happen, a better team typically should most likely win, especially once they get over to CT side, or if they start, they should at least be capable of starting pretty strong, I would imagine, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Meanwhile, we look at Texas A&M. They are starting at 1-0. Not a huge surprise either, I want to say. I mean,
no, it's not. They have some pretty solid players on that team, so it's not unexpected at all. They were able to beat Tennessee 16-0 as well, so that's a pretty big statement.
But I mean, at the same time, obviously having you on here and trying to be maybe a little bit more critical on the side of team expectancy, I would say Tennessee and somebody like TTU are most likely going to be the teams that we'll see more on the bottom half of this division. At least that's initially what we thought when we looked at during the quad.
I think I actually think what's it called? What's the team I was just looking at? The Aggies. I forget. Yeah, I forget what their actual whatever thing is. But anyway, they have some decent players I was looking at, and I actually think they could actually be on the upper half of this group. Mm-hmm. And depending on who they play against next, they can definitely make a strong statement to some of the other teams in this group.
Yeah, I think we're actually even going to see them in the near future as well. I know. Actually, I should know better. Let me double check. Texas A&M should be participating in a future match here. Yeah, they're going to be playing against Houston on Monday next week at 4.
That'll be a good.
That should be a fun match to watch. And then as well, just to tack it on, LSU and Alabama volunteering to delay their match by 2 weeks just so they can be on stream and play a 7 p.m. PT. So that's 10 o'clock their time.
Wow.
So they are like really, both teams are like amped up. They're just like, that slot, keep that open. Let us double check. I think we can make it. I'm just like, all right, like, wow, a team actually wanted to be on stream and during a broadcast at time. I'm like, yeah, you guys can have it. Like, I'm not gonna complain. So, all right, well, guys, we have Texas Tech and Texas A&M getting ready here in just a second. We're gonna take a quick little 30-second break before we head into the knife round. So hang tight, don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
25 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 30.00 and is rising. And no precipitation. We're about a half inch behind. Correction, a half inch ahead for the year. And 1 in 5,300.
Wait, are you at the knife round?
For the year so
Or where are you at right now?
for a little bit of a change tomorrow. And of course, the possibility of some scattered showers. Today, of course, there's nothing showing up on the radar. However, the satellite.
Go to 31.
The US, rain showers and
So it's 31 seconds.
and that wide band of fairly heavy snow will happen. Each system on Earth in the morning, and then you'll see the cloud pattern move. Of course, the front was way off in the northwest. Now, however, it's formation with a couple of high pressure cells behind it.
Okay.
Alright guys, welcome back. We are ready to get into the knife round. Thank you for being so patient with us today as we get ready to see these two southern teams duke it out. On the side of Texas Tech, we have Maple, Vexy, Nesson, Grace, and or Maximus, first one, and Maple. Meanwhile, on the Texas A&M side, we have Sphere, Malf, Smoothie, Ghost, and Roxer. Any of these names ring a bell?
Yeah, I know Heroes are. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but he's been around for a while.
Mhm.
I think Ghost is actually on a main team, if I recall. So I think A&M, they have some decent players here that could definitely have the edge over Texas Tech.
Well, I have been overpassed the hell out for the past week already just watching the match. It's kind of cool to be a little bit back on cash. How should, I mean, generally, with these teams' skill, what would you say teams should approach this map? Should they be rush heavy? Should they be looking at balance, patience play, reading? Because, again, we're assuming that even though some of these players are decent, they're probably not all the best, just aim duelers at the top level. So should this, I mean, on a map like this, should you just maybe play it slow, or how would you, if you were the leader of a team, like of one of these teams, what would you tell them?
I think it's dependent on how your team likes to play, because there are a lot of different ways you can play T-side cash. T-side cash, I find, is probably one of the easier maps to play T-side on, just because you can either decide to take map control more slowly, or you can do like 4-1 type of pushes where you just have 4 guys rush into a site and then just like take it by force type thing. And on CG side, it's because the T's can do that type of thing on you. You have to be aggressive at the right time. So that means either pushing A main or B main whenever you go down in numbers.
Well, we got to push it almost here into long A right now. It's going to come down to Ghost and Sphere to hold it down for the first initial part. Obviously, Smoke's coming on out here. Sphere saw a bit of a shoulder right there on the Texas Tech side, and we'll see if they can do it. Here comes the door opening up, and with 2 go down really quick. Ghost and Sphere trading and holding it up really well. Eventually, it does give up the side, but I think a decent start for trades, 2v2. Now the bomb plant's coming down, and yeah, that could be.
Malf had a nice one tap there, but 2v3 situation is gonna be tough for the T's to hold off though.
So far, so good. Vexy picks up the USPS and gets a 1-tap, but it gets returned, and good trades from Texas A&M. Malf back-to-back headshots, while he will get the reward of bomb defuse as well. Good first round for Texas A&M. That could have gotten really tricky right there for a second after they got on the side and got the 3v2 for half a second.
Yeah, A&M actually had good favorable trades when they were coming, as Texas Tech were coming to the site. They were able to get 2 entries, but then the 2 guys just fell. And then after it was a 3v2 situation, Texas Tech, they had decent post plants, but they're just down in numbers, so they had to get aggressive.
This is cute.
But
Do you see
Malf,
Roxer right now?
Yeah.
This is
Nova with the full nades.
Good. At least he's going B. I was worried he was going to go A site with that too as well. So,
the T's are actually going to save here, so they're probably planning for a 3rd round AK buy here.
Cute little boost up on mid garage right now, just seeing if they could catch anybody or spot anything. But yeah, it looks like they're just going to play a little bit for information. Not your, I want to say, typical CSL eco. I mean, most ecos that at least I have seen is just like, well, we lost the pistol round, so let's go eco into a site as quick as we possibly can. I mean, just go down that, you know, death trap of a, you know, winder of SMGs. So we'll see what they do here. Oh.
CS used to be like that, where like people would just eco train into bomb sites, but I think with how the pistols are balanced now, it actually makes more sense to try to make the CTs make mistakes and just capitalize on it. P250s are still pretty strong.
Well, we're looking and seeing right now, slowly creeping over to A side. Only 2 people left, Maximus and Maple for Texas Tech, and eventually Ghost takes him down, takes care of the other teammate right there, and that's a quick 2 for Texas A&M. No players lost as well, so
it's gonna be great for their economy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, they could sit on the semi-buy for the time being, nade up, and they'll still be capable of a full buy next round if they want to. This is interesting. TTU skipping a second eco and going for the guns. This could either be a really nice reward, or maybe they could be going down for another few rounds if this doesn't work out for them.
They're able to get the bomb plant here, so it actually does make sense that they do the 3rd round AK buy, but they actually have a lot of they have a decent amount of utility, so they can do a lot of map control type stuff. Maybe wait for a push just because they know the CTs didn't die. Well, the SMGs are probably going to play close here.
Well, for the time being, everybody's pretty patient, but we do see that nice little boost up mid right now. They're trying to find an opening, but a lot of players have seen them and noticed them, and Texas A&M rotating to spot them out and trying to get some sort of a shot off. Malf obviously would love to get out there and try to take maybe a little bit of a peek, but he knows there is that risk there as well, that if he goes a little bit too wild, he might end up losing his life. And does take out Vexy, though, on the lower ground right below. What do you call that, by the way, right in that drop down area? Is it just drop down?
You mean like under the boost, or where?
Yeah, like under the boost where Vexy ended up dying.
A lot of people call it Cubby.
Cubby, interesting.
So, yeah. Either way, 4v4 situation. Crazy is going to take down another. So 3v4, but CT still have decent utility.
That's funny. It just like the reason I ask is because while you look at my Steam profile and you see like 2K hours of CS:GO there, that is a lot of that is spent playing Surf. Jailbreak, KZ.
Okay, those are fun
if you need like if there was like a professional jumping competition or surfing competition in the CSL, I would be signing up for it in a heartbeat. But yeah, for in terms of my silver to gold basics over here, like I'm just like, yeah, I wonder what that's called again. And just like because you never hear that level just call stuff out there. Just like, yeah, rush, go, get in there. Yeah, I'm like, oh god, go. All right, well,
either way, that Molotov actually could have stopped the plant. Look at the HP of the T's here, 8, 11, and 60. So this is still a doable retake for the CTs here. Ooh, that's a grenade.
Yeah, definitely a hard one right there to the face, and leaves only Sen and Craze, and disappears off the map. Only 8 HP. Diffuse bait, gonna stick it. He pulls up once again. This is still an opportunity for Craze, but wasn't looking, I guess, long enough to that corner. And Smoothie gets a good shot off, and 3 rounds for Texas A&M. Not a bad start.
Yeah, that was good for them because that was essentially their bonus round. They didn't even buy any like real weapons there, so being able to get that round was big. On the side of the T's here, they're probably going to eco and probably get their real full buy in next round. A couple of Deagles and P250s coming out though.
Well, round number 4 coming up. TTU running right towards B. This is where we might see the meat grinder strat coming out, and that looks to be the case. Going through smoke. Here comes a nade that's just going to eat everybody up, and yeah, this is tough with shotguns, AKs. That's just brutal. Rockstar and Smoothie. Making smoothies out of Texas Tech right there. Just, you know, God, Lord. All right.
But yeah, like I said, full buy here coming in. Vexy's going to pick up an op. 3 AKs with full, 4 AKs with full utility here. So, going to want to see what Texas Tech do here, whether they just do a default round or maybe try to work around that op. Jules there still has his shotgun though, so this is going to be interesting at B.
Well, it's interesting. Are they going to boost the op up?
Ooh. Crucial kill onto the player Z.
Is that Malf going down? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Ghost almost has him right there if he wants him to try to get mid. Misses the shot right there up mid. And now here comes the tease from TTU spreading out through mid. Ghost still sticking around though. He's gonna fake like he moves
This is
out of
such
the
a
way.
dangerous spot. This is such a dangerous spot for him to be in. But if he has a player from Z trying to fight, it might work out here. Ghost
Oh.
gonna find the no scope on the Craze. Almost finding the second, but I think he should just fall back at this point.
Yeah, this is way more than he expected, and it was really successful getting it.
Ooh, so we're gonna find one onto Maple here. So now it's a 4v2 situation, but with Essence gonna come out squeaky, gonna find the player onto the site. So that's A site for free now. But low HP on Essence.
Oh, Ghost with his
Ooh.
back turn got picked off. Now it's a 1-on-2. Maximus has a chance, almost catches, who was that, Smoothie right there? And still has a chance with Smoothie in his back. Obviously wants to try to get a plant up, but has to be careful as he's reloading on the other side of the corner. Does get that. Where's his reaction? What a god! Oh my god, Maximus.
It's a huge 1v2 for him to win. I don't really know why Heroes there was trying to peek from the truck wall with a shotgun. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to kill a guy from that kind of distance.
I mean, look,
Definitely undisciplined play
look,
from,
I've seen some
you know.
miracles with the sawed-off before. Like, I've seen some
That's
miracles.
true.
I've seen
That is
miracles
true.
and dreams happen with sawed-offs before. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it could have been probably coordinated a little bit better, where they kind of timed that out a little bit sooner. I think just that one-to-one like trade right there, just yeah, unfortunate a little bit.
Vexy gonna post up B main with his op here. He's gonna get smoked out, but this is a full buy round from both teams here, so it's a very crucial round.
Yeah, looking at it right now, they are trying to work a little bit mid, gather a little bit more information. No commitments. Yes, we have a Nest still lurking over at B, trying to maybe distract or find an opening of any sort that he can get. Good balance though overall from Texas A&M in their split right now. They do only have one person on A. A lot of mid control that's starting to fall apart. My God, Vexy taking care of business up mid. And it is now going to be really on Roxer, and he goes down, leaving only Spare alive. I mean, this is, even though there's not a lot of HP almost on every single player except Maximus, this is going to be hard. If they get the position and the angles, all the crossfire, there's the odds of him actually getting this off is not good, and it looks like he's just saving.
Yeah, he doesn't have a kit at this point, so it's pretty much impossible for him to go for this retake. But I think that round just came down to A&M just literally losing all the duels. Like, there'd be one guy just came out boost, got a 2k, one guy went B main, got a 2k as well, and it was just, you know, that can't happen.
Vexy ripping nerds' hearts out right there that round with an op. So, round 4 right now for Texas A&M. A couple losses back to back. A little bit low on guns. Do you like? I mean, do you like the eco decision here? I mean, it's obviously they almost have to, right?
Yeah, they pretty much have to. They're gonna get 2,400 next round, so they'll be able to buy the upcoming round. And here they're gonna stack mids. This is good. Being able to group up and try to take down as many weapons as they can from the Texas Tech side.
Still not a lot of big moves from TTU though. Looks like they are moving over towards A side. Was that a CZ to the head? Yeah, Ghost. All I've seen like for the past few days is just CZs do work and eco rounds, just people ripping people apart, and such an effective gun. Obviously a little bit of a risk if you're switching it in and out and reloading it, but yeah, if you could get it in a straight up fight, oh my God.
Somehow this is a 2v1, and Craze is down left to a 1v2 situation. Still has an AK and nades, but these CTs, they only have pistols so far, but no kit. They're just gonna smoke the bomb, and ooh, I think this is a very tough spot for Craze to win at this point. Gonna try to spam the smoke, finds the first one with the mouth, and I don't think it's quite planned for him, so I think Smoothie might be able to stick this in the smoke, but he's gonna get off of it. And I think he has time. He has just barely enough time for this. It's a great eco win, though.
That's big. That's so big right there. Wow. Great
Yeah, and I
momentum.
think
Oh, go ahead.
I think that sorry, but I think that just came down to one of the players from Texas Tech just getting a little bit sloppy, and it just turned into a snowball effect where everybody just started running into A main, and everyone just got CZ'd and pistoled, and it just wasn't. It just seemed like a very panicked call from the Texas Tech side.
I mean, you see a lot of people buy Deagles, you see a lot of people buy P250s, but I mean, in terms of effectiveness, I mean, depending on the player, but CZs have gotten some of the most damage I think I've seen. If somebody knows how to position themselves and catch like just a wave of players coming through, it seems like that gun can, or at least, sorry, that pistol could do a lot of damage right away. I mean, obviously, you can blow your load really quickly with that gun too as well, and be just left there with a gun that you could just throw at somebody's head at most, but. Yeah, this is great play still from Texas A&M. Going back to that, a little bit of a B-side positioning, slower play, crazy, but one tap, nice job.
And it looks like the T's are just gonna get ready to group out towards B main here. The rotate's already coming in as well. It's gonna be down to Nesson to find this lurk mid kill, but also on the site, Maple's gonna find Smoothie, so that's gonna make it a 5v3 situation now.
Malf had to get pushed out of heaven right there, and now, yeah, it's just all him. Does get a little bit of a pick off right there. Just trying to be careful, look all around him, and again, I think that's Nesson on the backside, looking to get a nice little pick off for exit frag. Malf, though, looking all over the place, knows that there's somebody back there. It's happened, I think, to their team already once before, so learning a good lesson out of there. And now one-on-one, Nesson is still creeping and crawling back there. Oh,
did he see him? I don't think he did.
I don't think
right?
he did, no. And they're just probably surprised that Malf is just so close, but nowhere like far apart. There we go. Now they'll find him. Malf gets another pick off. Hello.
If Malf can find, one more kill, this is gonna be a good round, like a good round to lose, because you don't want the T's to build up their economy too much off this win. Actually, gonna find him though.
Yeah,
CTs
I
are
mean,
broke.
if he was able to pick off some more guns off of them, just in general, even if he lost his, it would be definitely worth it. A lot of times when we see like ecos or these type of rounds, only usually one to two at most die off, and so not always the biggest value play for them. But in this case, not too bad. Not too bad for Texas A&M.
Yep. And CT's bought 2 smokes, so it kind of makes me think that maybe they're going to smoke mid, maybe smoke B main, and maybe get them to go towards A or of some type, or maybe just fight mid again. Looks like they're going to fight mid once again. Crazy's going to find the first one. And Ghost is actually sneaked into mid main, so he might be able to find somebody in the back here.
Casper the friendly ghost just sneaking his way back. Oh, great play right there. Finds Craze on the top. Might be able to find some people on A main as well, and not able to get the kill. Almost had them as well. Nice job from Maple on the backside flank, and everybody falling for Texas A&M right now. Wow, that was just all at once. Nothing that they could do. Smoothie all by himself with a P250 and a dream. Can't I wouldn't say can he do it, but I mean I highly doubt it at this point. So 5-4, close game so far. I like this.
And now CT's are in a bit of a tough spot here with 3,800, and looks like they're just gonna go for another eco. So it's not a bad idea considering how the terrorists only dropped 1 member alive. So it's not like he really put the economy against them either. So they're just gonna be saving here, going for a full buy in the next round. Hopefully, pull it back together after that.
Well, Nesson and the boys from TTU are heading over to A site, and only right now Sphere sitting with a pistol ready to try to defend it. He's got a CZ, so let's make some miracle happen. As Malf only has a deagle, and the rest are over at B and mid, so here we go. Close but no
2
cigar.
HP.
Yeah, Malf there trying to help him out a little bit. Trying to get some one-taps off on Malf right now. Not able to get him down just yet. He's down to 47. Still 5 players alive for Texas Tech as they get on site and get the plant. Looking over at Truck, we do have Hiroxi who can maybe get an opening. Not close enough, but on the backside we have Smoothie coming on in to defend everything. Finds himself another Vexy. Can he get the one on Raptors? No, he cannot. Wow, that was a great shot right there from Craze. And Craze continues doing some damage. Wow.
Look at the HP on all the T's though. Like, just one more shot to maybe, any of them. This could have been a very, very different round. Like, if I forget who it was that was on the catwalk part with the CZ, but if you got that kill, this could have been a very different round.
You could have gotten on the Mahone highlight reel, damn it! Like, why didn't you? Could have gotten on the Mahone highlight reel, and you missed your opportunity, man. Sad
That's
days.
too bad. There's always next week though. Anyways,
always next. Who knows? I mean, hey, they still have a good half a game to go. So, looking at it right now, 5v5 finds somebody. Was that through the smoke?
no, that was onto the boost. Vexy was already boosted up. Mouth just found a really quick shot on him, but it's gonna make this 4v4. Heroes are gonna find another trade, finds another one through the smoke here, and now suddenly it's 2v4 situation in favor of A&M.
Yeah, tough to say right now what they should do. Bomb is on the other side from his teammate, trying to maybe lurk back over, but he might find himself some of the people in mid as well at the same time watching him. Not a great scenario to find yourself in. Now Bomb's all by himself as Maple has his back turned to, was that Sphere? That was definitely Sphere. So Maximus just looking for some kind of an opening right now and some pickoffs at this point. Most likely will not find a bomb plant opportunity, and now down to 7 HP. Life is not all good as the rest of the T's on the Aggies circling around them like sharks. Smell blood smell blood in the water. They want a leg. They want a leg or an arm here.
Yeah, they don't want him to get away with this op here. Actually, he's gonna try to throw it away. But...
I was looking, I was just like, why is he turning his back? And then I saw him just throw it up there. Whoa. That's
Either
funny.
way, that's gonna be 6-5, and the T's should still have money to buy here. And Maple is going to drop an op over, and yeah, this is going to be a pretty important round here, as whoever loses this round is going to be on the reset, and full utility from both teams. So looks like Texas Tech is just going to make their way towards A though.
We'll see what they're going to be able to do. Sphere now with an AK. He'll have the lead on defense here. 1v5 potentially up here. He's next closest to him is Ghost, but he's looking down mid right now. Same with Mouth looking for the boost. So here we go. Can he defend all of this pressure that might be just coming out to him right now? We got to rotate over to Truck, and they're spamming the health and smoke. Not able to find anybody until now. Great shot right there. Roxer takes one down, but they trade out as well. 4v3 remaining. Ghost might have the best opportunity right here as he gets through A main right behind everybody, but a Molotov will give his position away, so it's going to be now critical to position themselves correctly.
3v3 situation. The CT still have decent utility, and they all have kits too, so they can take their time if they want to, but Vexy's going to get taken down by Ghost. 2v2 situation now. Mouth, I don't think he saw Maple cross over the other side. He did, but now it's a 1v1 situation. And time is running low for him. Is he gonna try to spam him through the door?
Almost got him first time. Almost got him the second time. Legged him that time, but yeah, not enough time to be able to kill and defuse all at the same time. Really even match. Wow, I'm honestly surprised. Both teams are performing as well as they are right now. So
everybody died that round. So if the CTs want to put some pressure on their economy, this would be a good time to do it, because if they buy here, both teams are going to be down to that, sub, 100 type thing. But it doesn't look like they're going to go for that gamble. Looks like they're just going to save up, maybe just have some half armor.
Battle up in mid. Rocks are not able to get the shot off. Two go down. Nesson and Craze doing some work right there, opening up the mid play right now for the rest of the team to come through if they want it. Everybody now has to really spread themselves thin with pistols. Sphere on A. We got Ghost in mid, and then Smoothie sitting over on B side. And most of the T's are actually pretty split up as well across all three sites, but nice little trade for Ghost up mid. Not going to be able to continue that pursuit, and now down to a 4v1 with only a USPS and a Dream. Oh, almost. Hey, I'll give you props for trying, but yeah, that's a little bit too long range for Ness getting that accuracy. I mean, honestly, is that more of a? I didn't notice. Was that just because of head armor, or
yeah,
or armor?
It was just because of head armor. Yeah, from that distance, it's definitely a dink. And yeah, I think in general for USP, as long as the other person has head armor, it will always be a dink. But regardless, A&M is going to be going for another save here, so they're going to just go for the last round buy. And 4 Deagles and a P250, so it's not an impossible round.
Yeah, this could be interesting. They're all crowded up in B right now, and Smoothie really close. Could maybe catch somebody right on the back if they don't hop over. Smokes placed really nicely, so he will see anybody that pops up. Not able to kill him in time, but does react well. He's got some help from Haroxer, not able to get anything done himself, and now Mouth might be the only one that can catch a Deeg or two, but he gets smoked off, and now just slowing down to Texas A&M, and with all the T's on site, this doesn't look good for A&M. Ah, look at Mouth, not bad. Catches one.
Yeah, and I think Mouth should just try to save his weapon here. And Spur should try to get as many exits as you can right now. Maybe try to lower the economy of the T's a little bit, but it doesn't really matter so much just because next round is the last round and a half anyways.
Well, I mean, this is cute. Yeah, some of these little dinks and little dinks that we're seeing right now at Texas A&M, they're cute, but they're not going to get it done, unfortunately. And so, as I say that, one more AK shot actually ends up going through everything and gets a kill off right there. So, they end up trading, but only one left for the CTs. Malphite, he does get a rifle out of it, so I guess not all is lost for the most part, and they get a chance to full buy, as you mentioned. So.
Yep. Looks like they can go with a double op setup here, and most commonly on cache, whenever you have a double op setup, you generally put one at A and one at B and stack the 3 rifles at middle. Want to see if they're going to do something like that, and it looks like they aren't. They're just going to place one of the ops at A. Mouth is going to go mid like always. Ghost is going to Molotov the boost, and just a standard 2 mid, 2 B setup, then Sphere opping A.
Close shots, close opportunities, not too much luck for Texas, or sorry, for Texas Tech, yeah. Caught on the boost right there, and now they're split up 2-2 across A and B site. Well, a little bit less of a split after that shot from Cypher. They might look to get in there. Flash does take care of Maple as well, completely blinded right there, and now they definitely know that the bomb is all the way back there, and nobody's near it at the current moment for Texas Tech. Maximus Maximus and Craze all by themselves, and we'll see. I don't know, if your CTs, do you just stay patient right here for the time being now that you have all this information? Oh, now you definitely know where they're at.
Yeah, in a 5v2 situation, there's really no reason to be pushing and giving your advantage back to the T's, because now you have to spread yourself out a little bit more thin, and the T's might have an opportunity here. If they take out Sphere, they could have the A site. They have utility as well. If they find this kill, they can smoke off the cross and then take the site, and then 2v3 is still manageable. So
very possible indeed. Smoothie has gone over to forklift right now though, so he will see them come on out. Mows with 1 player down. Craze does end up taking them down. Spare all by himself. Can he get the shot? Nice USPS use, and he ends up winning that round for, what was it? Yeah, A&M right there. I was about to say, everything's switching over really fast. It's like numbers and people with names are moving around. So, halftime, guys, and we are going to be going here into the second half. 7-8, very close out of all the teams that are just quickly readying up here before we get on to the second half of this map. Well, any initial thoughts right now on how well Texas Tech is playing, or is it just kind of a thing where when they were on T side they were able to just perform really well?
a big thing here is that Texas Tech actually won most of like the important rounds here. Like mostly, like all I remember was like A&M always having to eco. Like there's so many rounds where they're ecoing. So Texas Tech were able to put together like those very important rounds and put the other team on eco, and that's what it looks like with, you know, if you bring up the score, or if you bring up tab, you can see, you know, 3 rounds in a row and then they lose one, then 3 rounds in a row and they lose one, type of thing, right? So they're winning those important rounds. But either way, it looks like it's just gonna be a straight out A main here, a flash and a smoke for the cross. Texas Tech has 2 guys in A though, so they might be able to pull this off. Maximus is gonna find one at the mouth. And Bexy.
Hold the door.
And it looks like Smoothie's gonna get a goosh onto Maximus here. 4v4 situation. CTs do have a kit though, so they can take their time with this retake if they want.
Oh, everybody's just getting mowed down. I feel so bad for him. That just did not go well for him. Ghost and Smoothie just wrecking. I felt because Maple was in there really deep, but he was in that smoke just waiting to not get hit by crossfire as long as he possibly could, and eventually, yeah, got taken down. Really good take from Texas A&M right there.
And this Nova buy once again. I swear I saw this in a match last year, and I was just thinking, what do you do with a shotgun on T side? Like, where are you gonna go? Anyway, I'm gonna maybe spec him a little bit and see where he goes with that shotgun. But looks like A&M's just gonna be taking mid control, and it's not a bad play. Meanwhile, Texas Tech gonna stack towards the B site, which is also a good play because they're fully bought up here. So if they go towards B, they have a very good shot of winning the round. And if the T's end up going A, they can just save all the armor and just do the same thing again, right?
I love how like unbelievably passive and controlling they are, looking for information when they're all like they're actually converging on each other on the one side that they're all at anyways. That's so funny. But here they come out. CZ doing some work. Maximus getting some great damage done right there, and now we see Ghost. Can he get that entry? I think they realize that everybody's over on B side, so yeah, great idea from Smoothie just to grab that bomb and go A. Gonna get that plan off. The CTs will react and oh, yeah, they will react and transfer over. That was close. Ghost now, should he go through mid just to maybe get a pick off, or you guys get to save play?
No, he's making the right play. He's making the right play, just going A main, just securing the round because. Who knows? Maybe that player that he was holding in checker, right, allowed enough time for the other CT to like make his way towards Z or something like that, and then then you could be in a 2v. Then the last C could be in a 1v2 situation type thing. Ooh, that was a shot. It's all down to Nesson here in a 1v2, and Smoothie gonna take him down as well. And this round was actually decently close. It came down to 2 players alive on A&M, so it's not a bad force round from Texas Tech.
That's funny how that just happens. It's like the A side is open. I mean, obviously we see everything, so we're just like A side's open. And they just all end up converging on the B side anyways. So A&M though holding it down for another round right here. They should now, because of the eco, be capable of getting another round out of here, at least for the time being. Another stack coming out from Texas Tech. And Spark, what can he do here? How much damage can he get done? Only gets 1 down. I would have imagined he might have been able to get a couple more right there just because of the the SMG. But looks like Smoothie's taking care of the rest of them and under mid. And that leaves only Maple and Vexy left alive. Can they do anything? Not much working for him. 13 HP, and there we go. Finally, Vexy and Maple go down together to Roxer. No surprise. That's a round they should have won pretty cleanly, and especially with how heavily they pushed them.
Yeah, especially whenever you see like a 5-man B main push, the T's just automatically, the first reaction, just run A main like right away. Maximum only 1 person if you don't spot all 5. But looks like the CTs are gonna be bought up an op on Vexy. 4M4s, but slightly low on utility here. Maple's the only one with full set of nades, and he's gonna use it on mid right away. And it looks like A&M's just gonna be working mid here. Mouth on the boost spot, and he's gonna find some contact onto Vexy, but not quite taking it yet.
Yeah, taking a little bit of nade damage there in the middle for Maple, and they're trying to get a little bit of position on A side, having a little bit of trouble right now with the smokes, the mollies, all holding them up for the time being. And we see a pretty big rotate and support right now on A side. 3 of the players for Texas Tech ready there to react, and Ghost eating a big shot out of that crossfire right there, leaving Roxer by himself. But meanwhile in mid, Mouth trading out crazy, sorry. Interesting.
Yeah, and the CTs are actually in a bit of a tough spot here. 4v4 situation, they have like no nades. They pretty much have to 2-2 a site, or try to make a gamble, or try to make a push elsewhere on the map to get some more information. But it looks like there's going to be a trade that goes down. 3v3 situation now. It looks like the T's just going to get ready to hit towards A. Maximus is going to find nothing. He just gets taken down by Smoothie. And yeah, like I said, CT's not much else they can do in this round unless Maple or Nesson make that heroic play.
Yeah, Maple tries to spray through the smoke, not able to hit anybody, unfortunately, and now it all comes down to, well, I was going to say Nesson. Now it all definitely comes down to Maple for sure. Bomb still is not down, though, and he's got some nades that he could work with. Throws it up, gets gets a gorgeous flash off, only to eat up an op shot right as he peeks around the corner, so... A&M beginning to roll in the second half, 3 rounds in a row going their way. That's actually 4? No, that's 4. They were down 7-8 at half, so 4 rounds going their way in a row. Great momentum for them. Another eco scenario for Texas Tech, and they might only have, another 1 to 2 rounds of really good full buys available in them? If they're not too careful?
Yeah, it looks like right now they're going to go for the nade stack mid. And I think they mistimed that a little bit. They should have waited a little bit longer for that. They threw it too early. They wouldn't even be there yet from when they threw it.
That was cute. A little take away from Ghost. Mouth helping them out as well. Some disinformation on position right there. I think open that up for Texas A&M. In the back, we do have Maximus trying to do something, and then as well we have Nesson Another player. Can he spot? Not able to get the shot off. With support from Gus. We'll be able to eventually take him down. That's all he said. You're trying to work that little ledge right there just to get that headshot and not able to get it. Well, Maple by himself. This might be a quick round, and indeed it is. 12-8 going to Texas A&M. So far, so good in the second half. Cruising Aggies. Yeah, I mean, for Texas A&M, where are they coming up? It seems like a lot of time they're, I mean, obviously just this half with the ecos, they've been really stacked on top of each other, whether it's B or whether it's in mid. Is that just giving more opportunities for them to, you know, take advantage of sites or pick off, or more bodies that they could shoot at once or scout out? I don't know. What are you seeing right now that's an issue for Texas A&M right now? Or sorry,
Texas A&M? Oh, you mean Texas Tech? Texas Tech, they're just losing all the gunfights. In their first gun round, they didn't have any utility, but here, they're actually able to string together 3 kills in a row. Here's they're going to trade again, and now it's a 2v3 situation. Maple, in the event, might be able to find one here. Finds Heroes. It's all down to Smoothie left in the 1v3 situation. And he still has a lot of time and the bomb, so and nades as well. But he's just going to get taken down. Anyways, what I was going to say, though, was they gave up mid like way too easily the last time. They could have fought it a little bit more, and especially when you have low utility in that first type of gun round, you kind of have to make a gamble. You can't just play default for that kind of round, especially on CT side cash. But looks like they're able to get their first round here, and it looks like the double op was their answer, as they're bringing it again into this round.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Malf right here. I'm assuming he's probably going to be the one that's going to get boosted here. And indeed he is. Let's see if he spots anybody. He's got Maple at middle that he could maybe get a shot off on, but at the moment on a kind of parallel side, or sorry, they're kind of right across from each other, out of each other's vision a little bit, unless Maple decides to pop up and show his head.
And yeah, it looks like the T's are mostly just doing a default 3 towards A, 1 towards B main, 1 watching middle, just waiting for any aggression from CTs. Vexy, though, takes down Sphere. So now it's a 4v5 situation. Malf is just going to keep holding middle, but the T's are going to put a bit of pressure at A. Not quite seeing anything yet, though.
Good nades from Maximus to hold up this player. Gets a little bit of damage shot through door. Malf finds somebody up there mid. It looks like it was Vexy, and now here they come on the A side. Nesson sitting behind Forklift. Will he go down? He might almost get his teammate killed right there. Maple and Nesson both down to almost no HP, 21 and 1. They're going to need some big help from Craze. And can they find it? Almost gets shot actually through the smoke on accident, but they do take Heroxer down. Now it's a really interesting 3v1. Malf shooting him down. We got one player with 1 HP, one with 100. All this comes down to is being able to get the shot and as well situational awareness. See if anybody called out the HP amounts. Because in theory, he could, if he gets Craze here, he could just pull the pistol out. Oh.
He had a little bit more time to work with than I think he might have thought of, because he had about 30 seconds, if I recall, and the CTs are surely going to be rotated to the A side at that point, so he didn't really need to run out Forklift like he did and just announce his presence. I think he should have just kept working his op more into the site and just see if he could peek somebody who's just like holding the angle. And you know, after finding the first kill into sight, the other guy might have peeked or something to that effect, and I think it could have been a very winnable round. It felt like he just kind of threw it away there.
Well, now we're looking at a 12-10 lead for A&M, a little bit less than what they just had a couple rounds ago. This time around, we got 3 players splitting off over to B, trying to find some kind of an opening. Ghost, though, peeks his head out, beautifully able to get a couple shots off him. Vexy trades away his Spirit, and as well gets Heroxer, but Ghost eventually clears out Vexy out of sight. We do have one up top looking down to see if they can find anybody. Nesson goes down once again, and leaving the site completely open for only Maximus to defend on the rotate. And yeah, this is probably not happening right now.
Yeah, the event's not even broken either, so he should just save at this point. There's literally nothing he can really do to win this round.
Yeah, I wonder where he'll come from if he pops that. Man. Just like everybody just like looks over.
Yeah, and the T's are aware of this because there's nobody who's watching the event because they know it's not broken yet. And there it is.
There's a headshot off though. Oh man, that could have been actually interesting.
Yeah,
right
it could have been doable, but no, it was very, very unlikely. 13-10, A&M, and Ghost 26 and 15. Very, very good scoreline so far. CTs on the other hand, they're gonna have to save here, and I think that'd be the right call. Just letting A&M go on to the 14th round, and then hopefully stringing 6 rounds in a row together for the win.
be interesting to see what they could get done here, though. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to meet Square once again. Other than an SMG's got a rifle, and even though he dies, he takes 2 out and drops the HP on a couple players as well, down to 32 and 14. So not a lot of options already remaining after a few seconds into this round. So let's see how they rotate and where they position, if they could get any additional pickoffs or any additional trades, because that will be the most important part probably at this point. Oh, Mal spots Maple through the vent right there. Gorgeous shot. Gets him down. Maximus and only Nesson are the one remaining TF. I think he meant to. I mean, he burns down as well. Dude, that whole round was just a mess for Texas Tech. I think he meant to type what the because when he saw him, he barely saw the gun out of the vent mouth, and he just got basically shot there almost at his gun. So I could see where he was just wondering how the hell did that happen. So that was just a bad round for Texas Tech overall. Funny though at the same time.
So I think here Texas Tech, what they need to do here is push either A main or door, and maybe try to get a man advantage right away. Just because A&M's been doing a lot of mid control, so if they're able to find one kill here and fall back, it's gonna put them at a good advantage. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, look at how far they're creeping up to as well through A main.
And Vexy's gonna find one. He should just fall back here. No, don't go for more. And they do have A main control, and the stack should be going back towards B, but again, the rotate's just not on point for Texas Tech right now.
Oh, Ghost though, getting one of the rotates on the CT side coming through there. Gonna go help out A site, and looks like Maple goes down, leaving an opening in 2v1 scenario for A&M. Well, let's see what happens here. Maximus has to get over there. I mean, this is a round where he kind of has to fight, right? I mean, are they in an economic position where, well, I guess they are in an economic position where they're not really going to be able to get rifles, so I guess saving might be the best option. He doesn't have much armor damage either on him, only one little tick. Yeah. So
he doesn't even have a kit either. So he's like, there's no way for him to be able to find both players in the site, kill them, and then have time to defuse. So I think you have to weigh your options in these situations where it's like, do you think it's more likely for him to win this 1v2, or is it more likely for them to force next round and then maybe put together 5 rounds in a row? And I'd say with how things look, it's probably more likely they put 5 rounds in a row than winning this retake.
Well, round number 26 coming up as 15 are going to Texas A&M. Texas Tech has 10. Not a lot of econ to buys. Well, let's see what happens here. We got an AK, we got armor, a couple SMGs, a few nades. And that looks like that's going to be their best option here. Meanwhile, still standard buy, it looks like, from the Aggies. AKs and op on Malf. And they're looking to get that mid play again with the boost. Meanwhile, we take a look, a heavy push coming up from Vexy, and Malf does not spot them coming across right there. Might be able to catch somebody, though, if they're not careful. Oh, he sees Vexy right there, gets him down. Meanwhile, Maximus trades out in A main, and I think another one went down. It was Maple up in mid. This is getting interesting, and look at where Maximus is right now. He's kind of in a really interesting position in between sort of everybody that's looking to go to A.
Yeah, he was able to kill a player in A main, so they know he has to be in this area. And Ghost is just trying to scout out the rest of A. He's going to try to cut off the rotate from Truck. So now this puts A&M in a really good spot to take this A site here. If Spear can find the kill, doesn't though.
Oh!
He actually finds a second onto the player in door, but Mal shot him through the door. What the heck?
Wow, and that is GG. Wow, what a series. That was that was actually pretty good. That was kind of fun for a cash game. I enjoyed it.
And I think one thing there was Texas Tech. I think the one thing they should look at is maybe trying to get a better start on their on the pistol rounds, because if I recall, I think they lost both of them. Because I think their first half would have been really good if they had won a pistol round, because they won pretty much all the other rounds after that, like all the gun rounds, and then the the corresponding eco rounds that came after it. So if they could get to a better start,
as well in terms of like their ecos, they didn't really do too well. They really kind of Congo lined their way like at their opponents, and I don't know if that's a movement thing that they can improve on, or kind of the flow of how they want to enter or move around, because a lot of times where we saw Sphere and everybody else that got a chance to get a shot off with them, they just basically lined up one after one, took a lot of damage, and almost let one person kind of ace them within a couple of seconds. So you know, not too bad from Texas Tech. Obviously, not to, you know, trying to be overly critical of their play, but Texas A&M, I think they played sort of as expected. They held it down. They kind of handled some of the early game woes, and eventually kind of showed the class that they're capable of. So 2-0 for them on the season start. Texas Tech, meanwhile, falls to 0-2, but improving from their first match, and the rest of the way, I think, for Texas Tech might be a little bit easier to say. They will obviously eventually have to face Houston and probably UT Austin. A&M, meanwhile, still has enough of a meat grinder of a schedule left where they'll be challenged, but they'll have a, you know, somebody like a Tennessee available for them to probably at least get another guaranteed win down the road. So I would expect at least 3 to 4 wins for A&M minimum, kind of coming down the home stretch. Texas Tech might be able to probably get a couple more if they get a chance and continue to show some improvement. But yeah, what an interesting day. Obviously, for those that are tuning in a little bit late and wondering, well, where's my San Jose State and Cal State Long Beach? Long story short, we just had some scheduling issues. We're not going to go too deep into it, but we should see by next week another great set of matches on the broadcast schedule, and that is going to be Texas A&M, who we just saw right now, versus Houston. As you mentioned, that should be one hell of a match. You guys can catch that at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then LSU versus Alabama. Yes, that is the SEC schools. Expect there to be all-star. Actually, I don't know. There might not be all-star players. Who knows? I'm just like, I'm like, you know, if they could even remotely mimic what they can do in football, like I would be just like out of my mind excited. But I mean, I think that's cool now that both programs are like in actually the CSL and in CS:GO and are in the same conference and are playing each other. It's just one of those things where it's just like it all lines up really well for a fun rivalry and storyline. But we're not 100% sure, I guess, what their skill level and play is just yet until we actually see them. But Wednesday, that could be fun. Montreal versus Toronto, that could be a lot of fun. 4 p.m.
That could be a good, very, very good matchup.
And then in the evening one on Wednesday, UC Irvine versus UC Santa Cruz as well. So that could be another fun one. UCI obviously dealing with some of their woes a little bit right now in the early part of the season. UC Santa Cruz playing, I think,
completely new roster.
Yeah,
completely new roster though. Yeah,
it could be really, I think, for those that are not, you know what's going on the West Coast, and you know, seeing how strong these teams are. This will be a good opportunity for a lot of teams to schedule them out. Obviously, looking at things in the future, going into Week 5 and ahead, expect to see some UCLA, some UC Berkeley, Lambton playing. You'll see some more Cal State Long Beach. Hopefully they'll be able to rebuttal their scheduling woes on one of these Wednesdays. They get Arizona State. The Arizonas are actually doing really well right now.
Yep.
They're both doing really well. Good call. I was sitting on the quad talking like way too much shit. Like I didn't expect anything, but they're actually both doing really well right now. So I'm actually kind of now excited to see them play. So overall though, I think we had a really fun week. San Diego State got their first win of the season over Grand Canyon. UT Dallas upset UT Austin as well, and Overpass got their first win of the season. We saw Minnesota take down Maryville today. I don't know if that was a shocker or a surprise, but it ended up being a really close game overall. So I think it could have gone maybe either way depending on a few different rounds. But a very young team on both sides came played today and showed some really good play. On the Maryville side, at least, shout outs to Sodium Squared. I think he played excellent. One of the best players that we've seen on broadcast this year so far. But any thoughts on general like CSGO and stuff that's been going on? Anything that we should expect to see from you in terms of power rankings and highlights and cool stuff that you've been working on? You've been doing a lot, man. You've been doing a lot in the background. No?
Yeah. Pretty much, a lot of my ideas just kind of come from back when I was competing. These are things that I would have liked to see, and I've seen it done before for like ESCA and stuff like that. So why not bring it for the collegiate scene and have it become a bigger thing, get more exposure for some of these schools and some of these players. And even that first highlight video I made on Nuke, like some of those highlights are sick, and like we wouldn't even know about it unless somebody put something together essentially. So yeah,
I mean,
as far as the power ranking,
there's a dirty secret. It's called getting Steve-O MVP on your account. People might not know about this, but if you're curious in terms of scouting your opponents, you could get just MVP on your account and download some of them demos. So
give you that extra edge.
Dude, if I was like coming back from like the StarCraft days, obviously we had replays, and so that was like fairly easy access to go through and understand. But yeah, like now if I was running a CS:GO team or coaching or doing like any analysis work, I'd be like, yeah, I got homework, but like hold on, let me watch this like demo really quick to make sure my team like preps properly, like for something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eventually teams almost all have to consider doing that. For those that really want to compete at the upper level, I would imagine that there's no reason not to. Just to be able to at least get an idea.
Yeah, I think most teams that are pretty serious about wanting to win this thing should definitely do some scouting on the opponents they play because it's a CSL, right? Not a lot of teams, not all the teams practice, right? But you kind of get a sense of just from watching a demo, like how much time they put in. Like, do they look like they have strats type of thing, or do they look like they're good players type of thing? Like, you do learn a lot just from just watching one demo of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely recommend it. If you have the time and if you're actually serious about going far in this tournament, it's definitely worth doing. And as well, watch your own demos as well because that's the best way to improve, to kind of see what kind of mistakes you're making as well.
I mean, I say that to myself as a caster. I watch my own VODs. I'm like, God, I hate my voice. Like, this is the worst. like it's just like cats on chalkboard just screeching. I'm just like, oh, somebody stop him. Make him stop talking. But yeah, for the boring kind of not interesting plugs, guys, if you're interested in joining our CSL community, we have a Discord up and running right now. So if you're a coordinator that's looking to have a scheduling advantage or communication with the CSL, if you have scheduling issues, this is a great place to start. Type an !Discord in chat, and it will link you to our public Discord that you guys can join. If you're a caster, a streamer, a coordinator, a player, whoever you are, just a fan of the CSL, feel free to join. Chat it up with us. If you are a coordinator, this is a great tool to utilize for creating scrims, as we've seen a lot of teams utilize and are practicing a hell of a lot more, I think, than last year even. I would say the teams are very active this year in improving and practicing. Follow us on the socials, twitter.com or at just @CStarLeague. That's our main big Twitter for all announcements. And if you want to follow the collegiate stuff and score updates, at Collegiate CSGO. Our Facebook, facebook.com/CStarLeague as well. You guys can find that. And if you go to our website, cstarleague.com, click on the CSGO tab. In the news articles, you can check out stuff like Mahone's power rankings. Eventually, most likely, we'll post like stuff like highlights. If you like Mahone, you could just get more of Mahone there pretty much. So very easy. If you like even more of Mahone, we had a quad episode a couple weeks ago on Friday that you could go to our YouTube, youtube.com/CStarLeague. There's a quad section there. There's highlights. There's CSGO VODs. So if you guys missed this broadcast and want to look over anything, it will be up there right after the broadcast as well. Oh, and of course, can't forget Twitch, because if you're here, you're literally on Twitch, or you better be if you're not watching on the YouTube VOD. Yeah, I swear if I see the stream on Panda TV, all our China players, I swear. Yeah, but thank you to Twitch, obviously, for supporting the CSL, from PAX East, PAX West, to all our activations and everything that we've done with them. We've really gotten a lot of support from them over the years. We really appreciate them. And the best way you could support them back, at least on the collegiate side, they're running Twitch Student, which is for the collegiate students on the Twitch side. Find out what they're doing, what kind of cool activations and support they're doing for the collegiate side. Find all that info below us if you scroll down on the channel in the CSL or the CStarLeague tab on Twitch. And I think that's it, guys. Mahone, over to my left side. My man, great job. Thank you for being my life vest. Follow him on Twitter. You really don't need to follow me, but if you want to, it's like right below me. So, but other than that, True should be back next week. Hopefully Crackshot's healthy as well. Yeah, True is busy being a Jehovah's Esports Witness up in Toronto, trying to spread the gospel of CSGO over somewhere over there. So hopefully he'll be back by Monday, and we'll be back with our main team. But until then, hopefully you guys enjoyed the broadcast. Any final words, Mahone?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and this is probably going to be one of my only few casts on this on the stream. But either way,
never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Never know. But either way, yeah. Follow us on Twitter, Collegiate CSGO, and look out for the power rankings that should be coming out later this week, probably, as well. Probably a highlights video. And if you had any highlights from week 2, send it in the Discord or tweet us at Collegiate CSGO as well. We'll include it right in there, and you guys can get some great exposure. And yeah, thank you again.
All right, guys, go get some sleep, do your homework, and we'll see you again on Monday. Take it easy until then.
Cells behind it, and a few pockets of low pressure, and a fairly heavy band of rain showers and snow all the way from the eastern portions of Montana down to western sections of Nevada. And of course, the